Hello and welcome to the Pens and Pixels Popcast. I'm your host, Cal G, and to my left is the coordinator extraordinaire,
Mike Kent.
The Popcast is a place you come to hear about the art and news of video games, comics, and movies that week.
And if you like sass, you like crass, and you don't want to give this Popcast a pass.
Whew! Alright, so this week, no news, no art, no comics.
I am currently away at OJAM, actually by the time this comes out, OJAM will be actually just finishing, because it's 48 hours long. I'm not hanging around for 48 hours if they can. I'm not going to keep going home and coming back. Make sure to go back and check out the stuff from that. We have a lot of really amazing artists and some great teams joining us for there. We're even having the local modelers turned game studio, 3 Pixels, or 12 Pixels. I can't remember. I think they're French. So be sure to check out all the content that's coming from that, or check out the games that were made there. You can check them out at ojam.ca. But other than that, we're going to be doing ourselves a filler cast. I was going to say
5-minute warning.
5-minute warning.
Where we throw out a bunch of fucking questions. We have 5 minutes to answer them, depending on what it is. And we just go at it. And I have a nice little bonus round at the end for Mike to go through.
Just me?
Just you.
Why me?
I'll get my answers after.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
I think it'd be more fun if it's just you. Otherwise, it'd be like too much of a conversation. Another conversation after. I want to see what your initial thought is.
Okay, or the rapid fire round, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, without further ado, let's get into the 5-minute warning. Warning.
Isn't this usually when you do the purge music?
It is when I do the purge music. In fact, because you said that, it's still going to be going on because I'm still explaining this whole thing. And now it's over. Alright, first up, ready the timer.
Ready.
If you could eat/drink something from a video game, what would it be?
Just a video game?
Just a video game.
Ah, fuck, because I was going to eat something from a movie.
Too easy. Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, I was going to say. Everything ever cooked in Studio Ghibli. From a video game?
From a video game. I want to eat me one of them wall chickens from Castlevania. You hit a brick, there's a chicken behind that wall. What does that taste like? What does ancient Dracula chicken taste like?
I'm trying to think of something where I saw like really yummy food. Where I got you beat.
What?
I want to eat everything fucking cooked in Final Fantasy 15.
Ooh, great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer. Yeah, there's a ton of food there.
There's a ton of
like if you were on a
food.
desert island and you had to choose one, you have a great repertoire.
I've already
All I got
started
is wall chicken.
I've already started trying to cook all of his stuff myself as well.
I'm trying to cook the fucking Cerberus leg? Behemoth leg?
I use chicken or beef instead, but I make it up. You know what also has always looked strangely enticing, although I'm sure also horribly poisonous?
Mario's mushrooms?
That's a good one. That's a real good one. No, Nuka-Cola. The blue glowing cola.
Oh, the blue glowing. Yeah,
I want a blue glowing cola for some reason.
Yeah.
I want it to taste like blue raspberry or something.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I was picturing it would just taste like Pepsi Blue, but like glow. I bet we're not far away from having glowing drinks. That'd be good advertising.
I'm sure they do it with they do it with the bottle currently. Like they make the bottle have like a light in it.
Yeah, or something, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if we have a glowing liquid that's safe. Like,
yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of safe bioluminescent something they could put in there. But then we're all gonna find out like you're actually drinking small sea creatures.
Yeah,
the entire time.
It's a small phosphorus that lights up in the ocean. You know that? You've been drinking that. Aren't those eggs? Yes, very small eggs. They'll hatch in a month.
Oh, man, so Final Fantasy 15 is such a good answer. I don't even think I have anything to compete with that.
Well, it was the only game I ever had in recent memory that's coming. Like I'm salivating from the moment that he makes toast.
Well, I mean, that's certainly some of the best looking food in games too. That's the thing. Like,
but it's also so well crafted. Like in that game, everything he comes up with is all like fine dining chefery wonderfulness, right? Like every piece it comes out and it just sits there and it wiggles a little bit in the tray when it comes.
Even his bread looks good.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, you guys get fucking toast tonight." And you're like, "That was amazing."
That's awesome. I'll have your
You
toast.
didn't burn it, Ignis?
I love that rap song I sent you with Ignis, like constantly cooking and trying to find a new recipe.
I found a new recipe.
I found a new recipe. Yeah, no, that's definitely tops. But something else that's always been kind of like I want to eat that.
I'm trying to think what other games you fucking cook in. There's Legend of Zelda, the new one. You cook in that. Some of the stuff looks good. It's like the cell shaded like niceness, the big round apples and shit.
Or what was it, some of the games where they used to have like just the meat on a leg kind of thing, where it's like two.
Even that Monster Hunter World demo, right? Where he's like, big meat on it. The classic bone with the huge stack of meat on it. Yeah. The cartoonish thing where you eat it.
I'm trying to think of something where you actually see it, though, because like a lot of the times in most RPGs, they're like berries, and you're like, well, what do they fucking look like?
I'd love to eat a poke poffin, because you fed them to your Pokemon, poffins. Actually, from that famous Egoraptor cartoon.
Yeah.
All you feed me is poffins! Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah.
I'd like to eat a poffin. I need nourishment!
I need meat. Taro's meat.
Yeah, like, I don't know what a fucking puffin is, but I'd eat it.
There's not even... Is it a bird in the world? Is that it?
No, it's like fuck, I don't even remember now. I think it's you get berries and you mix them together in a pot, and then they boil, and then what comes out is like a puffin. And it doesn't look like any worldly food. It kind of looks like a pastry of some sort, but I don't know how you get that from heating berries.
No. Or you know what also I would actually like to eat a lot of is, I know. I got good ones. You remember Ni no Kuni?
Yep.
It's the sundaes in that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're cheating. Well, I mean, you're not cheating because it's a video game, but that's still Studio Ghibli.
Oh, fuck.
It is,
Come
right?
on.
Like, you're not cheating technically.
No.
But you're cheating in spirit. I hate you. This question's over.
No, it's not.
All right, we got one more minute?
We got one more minute.
Okay, well...
You gotta think of something else, something small, something simple. You got anything else that you ever wanted to eat? Even a potion you wanted to drink?
Oh, I mean, I've wanted to try, like, potions in Final Fantasy for sure.
Yeah.
But based more on the noise than the look. I'm like, that sounds like a good glug noise.
Yeah. I want the Final Fantasy one, though. Wouldn't that be amazing, like, if, like, a certain drink actually made you make a sound, so that way you could, like, make, like, buy the Final Fantasy drink. When you drink,
I'd do that, yeah. Yeah, I do want that.
Oh god, this thing is so much easier with film. Like, I want to try so many different things.
There's food in Dark Cloud looks good, but also it's just cell shaded. I think a lot of cell shaded food looks good.
A lot of cell shaded.
That's the
food
thing.
looks really good. Yeah,
that's what it is. Even Disney movies have good food, like with the Beauty and the Beast thing. Like they had a lot of good looking food in there. Cell shading makes food look good. Aside from Final Fantasy 15, I think that's really the key to making good looking food. Otherwise, it just looks like bland.
Yeah, or it would do what they did and literally go out and cook the food and then take pictures of it and then there you go.
There's some Vanillaware game. I'm gonna keep talking. There's some Vanillaware game. They do those beautiful looking 2D RPGs where they have really good food. It's not Dragon's Dogma. It's Dragon's Crown. They have great looking food. I don't know if you remember what it looks like though. Yeah, they had some really cool looking food. Yeah. All right. Next up. If you had to cancel a long running TV, film, or game series, which would it be?
Supernatural, first one. That one has to go.
So. I'm conflicted in my mind because Supernatural existing doesn't hurt me in any way. I'm trying to think of something that I would free up the creator by doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I know exactly what I'd kill.
Yeah.
Fuck Avatar. I'm killing it before 2 even happens, so James Cameron can go back to making something I care about. That's what I'd kill.
Awesome. That's a good one. That's your film. So for me, in TV land, I've got a few. But I want to kill Supernatural just because, like, anything that goes to, like, 14 fucking seasons, you're just like, or more, whatever the fuck it's at. Like, get the finish. But I have a few shows that just, like, they end up going a little bit too far for too long because, like, the stories just start to cycle too much and you're like, I don't care. Like, Dexter should have ended at, like, season 4 or 5. But they kept going. So in contrast to that, like, Supernatural needs to end because what the fuck else can they kill or fight or do? You know, like, they've had everything in, on them, or around them in any fashion. So, like, I don't know. But I want Orange is the New Black to end in the next season because, like, I want it to still be on a high note. At this point, I'm running out of compassion for these girls and their story. And Piper only has 3 months on her sentence at this point. Like, if you stretch it out for another 2 seasons of Piper being around and suddenly 3 months pass in that time, it's like, Jesus, guys, like, just, like, kind of end it. Film series wise, I'm not sure. What about TV for you?
TV for me, I would just put The Big Bang Theory as misery probably at this point, and I don't even have.
Isn't that dead?
I don't even have anything against it. No, it's not dead.
Oh fuck yeah, kill that one.
It's still on,
yeah,
and I don't even really have anything against Big Bang Theory particularly, but it's one of those sitcoms. It's on like season 11 now. And it's like, okay, go to sleep, just inject it in the neck and just slowly go down. But then like fucking the Sheldon spinoff would crawl out of its corpse, and I need to fucking try to immediately put that down too, but it gets away from me. Bazinga! He's running away and shit. Like, fuck.
Then you see the sound of the gun, dum dum dum, as it goes past. Bazinga! Fucking god damn it.
Yeah, that's the immediate one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm trying to think of more where I could free up a creator because, like, again, Big Bang Theory doesn't hurt me being on. I don't really care, and no, I don't care about anyone's career involved in that enough to want to see them go anywhere else.
That's a good one for TV for me. The Simpsons.
Ooh, yeah.
I love The Simpsons. There's even still some great content, very sparse episodes that come out currently that are actually just as good as some of the old ones.
I mean, the shotgun approach, right? You shoot so many fucking bullets, you're bound to hit something.
Yeah.
Like, eventually they're going to write another good episode.
Yeah.
It's just not consistently quality anymore.
No.
Whereas, like, if we watched seasons, like, 2 to 10, we would not find, like, a bad episode in the bunch, basically.
Well, in 2 and 3 a few, but after that, no, not a single one. But... with Simpsons right now, I mean, I don't think Matt Groening is even producing.
I don't think he has anything to do with Simpsons anymore.
No, I don't think he does. But even then, the whole writing team that's been focused into The Simpsons and trying to churn out content with that, like that whole group could go off and do greater things inside of comedy. Like Futurama might even still be around if they hadn't have divided.
A lot of the people in our golden era left. Like Conan O'Brien was part of it, and who's the other guy? Anyways, like a lot of the people are gone from that era. Anyway, so like. It's just a completely new show at this point,
Video game franchise, really quick before we run out of time.
Ooh, Dynasty Warriors, fuck off.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors is a good one. Oh, fuck. Before E3, I would have said Monster Hunter.
Ooh, harsh.
Yeah. I was trying to think of another one that's been very long running, not just like 3 or 4 episodes that I don't like. Because there's a bunch of the shorter ones where I'm like, I just don't give a shit.
I could put Gears of War down now.
Yeah.
Because I like Gears of War a lot, but that new studio clearly has talent. They made a top-notch Gears of War game, and it just didn't blow anyone's socks off. It was still solid and good, but I think that their talents would be best not on that franchise, not being hindered by that franchise anymore.
Although, technically, I think it probably is dead. I would say kill Infamous as a series.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Just because
I think it is dead I don't think it's like... Yeah, I think it has the potential to come back. But.
I think it has the potential to come back, but like I don't think they can draw out of it. I think Cole was the key to it, and they kind of explored that character so thoroughly within 2 games. Really, technically, with the expansion, almost 3. So, like, really, at the end of that, it's like, fuck, what's the point of continuing? I think it was told in 2, and your 3rd one's wrong, and bringing another character in and talking more about a superpowered world, I'm like, fuck it, I'm done with that. So that's definitely one I would want. Oh, and Dragon Quest.
Oh, harsh. Yeah. A lot of people love that one.
I know, but I'm just so tired of hearing about it. Let's free up the Square guys to go focus on actually making Final Fantasy Remake.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I could be there.
Yeah, alright. One...
Perfect. Should Pokemon, the mainline one on the Nintendo Switch, implement features of Pokemon Go?
What? Oh.
Should the new mainline Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch implement features from Pokemon Go?
What features are you thinking?
I mean, Pokemon Go is really just one thing.
No, I know, but in Pokemon Go, like, do you want us to be walking around and finding stuff?
I'm thinking, okay, you got a regular-ass Pokemon game on your Switch, but then you go out, you're gonna walk to the store, bring your Switch with you, you turn it on, and maybe, there's a Psyduck on this route, and you can catch it there, and like, you can still catch Psyduck in the game, but it's much further than where you are. But like, you found a Psyduck near your place, and you get a Psyduck. I think something like that could be kind of cool, but I don't know if that's gonna recreate the fever that was Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like for the whole walking and finding thing and all that. I mean, I think the like walking and then like the live augmented reality component of it, where like you're gonna take it and pick it up and use your camera and scan and like try and find something, and it could be at any point between.
Also more in depth though. Like I would sit there and my fucking Raichu, whatever, would come out, and I would battle that Psyduck to get it down like a normal Pokemon battle, and maybe I still throw it at the fucking duck or whatever. Yeah. I think there's features that could be cool in there, although I don't necessarily want them there. Like, maybe there's a thing where after you beat the game, you can start a gym. It's just like the gyms in Pokemon Go. But again, it's something where you can actually battle them and you're not just swiping the screen back and forth or whatever the fuck you were doing.
Yeah,
you're actually doing Pokemon battles.
No, I'm with you on the Pokemon battle part, but I don't think with the Switch, doing the walking camera augmented reality part would work. I think what it could do is set up just like Google Map, like point destinations to go to, where you could sit down and like do that. And like destination walking would be like, I know that 2 blocks from my house is a Tim Hortons and it has a Poke spot there.
Yeah.
And then I can go there and I can like get Pokemon and whatever the fuck, right?
I also think maybe this isn't really Pokemon Go-ish, but I think something would be. There's something to the fact that since Switch is portable and it's big,
maybe if you have it in your pocket or in your bag or something, and you have a notification setting that goes on, your something vibrates or makes a noise, and you're like ding ding, and it's like Pokemon trainer in the area, and maybe you find someone, you battle them like you would in the real world, if you were two Pokemon trainers, because back in the day when we were kids, we had the Game Boys with link cables, but it was always like we got link cables and we're on the playground, or it's just you and your friend and you're battling and trading and stuff. This would be way more like of what you see in the Pokemon anime or in the Pokemon world is like. Hey, two trainers cross paths and hey, we're gonna battle.
Yeah, I'm down with that 100%.
That would be
wireless battling system, and even having a notification system asking if someone accepts if you want to actually fight or whatever. You could even set up meetups in places, right? Be like, hey, let's all meet at Algonquin College and sit in the student commons, and everyone can
battle each other and shit. Yeah,
that sounds super cool.
Yeah,
the actual walking Pokemon Go thing, it was so fatty at the time, and even. Though the game wasn't executed correctly, I always suspected that it would fad out and just not maintain. No one's just constantly going to walk.
For sure.
It just had its initial interest and appeal. So I don't know if that component would fit into the Switch version. But a destination setup kind of deal like that. One where either you're going to have let's meet up and battle, or I'm in an area where we're going to meet and we can have a battle, or even have that component, but also say if we meet in what's called the Cerulean area, and it turns out that on your map the whatever shop or the mall or something turns out to be the Cerulean area.
Yeah, and
that's where you can go and you can hunt and stuff and find some.
I wouldn't want that to be a core feature, or I wouldn't want that to be the feature of a main story, but I think those options would be very cool.
Yeah,
I think there's something there.
I think it also, though, it would feel very tagged on in comparison to the game, which has a design flow to it, right? As an RPG, it's designed to function in this particular fashion. But I also think as well, like I've said before, that I think Pokemon needs a really big upturn. I think it needs to get away from the turn-based battles. I think it needs to get into more live-action stuff. I think it needs to have some more new blood put into it.
It needs to have something.
Yeah.
Something
else than to just collect the next 150 and move on, right? Yeah. I think that would be the more important place to put your energy, and this would be an end game tagged on extra at the end of the day,
or maybe not even cool? An end game thing as much, but just an option. An option you could do. Here's the main Pokemon game, but if you want, you can start a gym over here with your team. And
just historically, those don't work so well. Because you remember all that fucking shit that used to come with all the other Final Fantasy games, where they were here, hook this up, and you can go Kokobo something, and you're like. Who the fuck is doing this? Final Fantasy VIII had that, didn't they? Some stupid shit where you could hook your controller up to something and have a little Kokobo extra game. Or was it 9? I forget. But it doesn't matter. No one used it.
Yeah, I don't recognize it, so no one used it.
No one used it. I heard all about it. You can network with this and
it's
this.
Pokemon
and this.
Though, I think people would use it.
Yeah, with Pokemon it'd be more likely.
Or even if it's just the battling thing. I just think there's something you can do. Yeah. So that was maybe.
No, it's a yes. It's just how they implement it.
Given all these indie games doing the 8-bit style thing, can you see any developers doing PS1 style games? Purposely low poly graphics, blurry textures, bad voice acting, etc.
No.
Yes.
No.
I can totally see. I don't think it's going to be the next wave. I don't think it's going to replace 8-bit indie style things. But I could totally see someone making a PS1 homage with shitty textures and
maybe I could see something along the lines of Ashen being used in.
So
that
I think that's the compromise.
Yeah.
It's low poly in the way, but it's stylized so it still looks good.
I think it could become a style, is a low poly game style, which I think is actually even a thing currently, for sure. But the making it totally look like a retro Nintendo 64 game, no, because those games, models and graphics are all about building up into realism and making it more real. And those, you go back to some games that are old, and you're just oh, this was the greatest game ever, but it's so shitty looking. They look shitty.
Yeah,
So,
I can totally see there being a couple games in the future where it's and this isn't made by Microsoft or Sony or something. This is indie or something, right? But you get the fucking block-faced James Bond 007 GoldenEye things, and you have the hands that are just rectangles. And they're
I think it would be such a hard design thing too, because technically there are games that do exist that like that, Microsoft. Minecraft is basically that.
Kinda, yeah.
So and it's extremely popular, but it was because it was designed so cleverly. They really went and were we're working with a single geometric shape, squares. You can't work with
I'm thinking
else.
something that's more remember Resident Evil 1, and they do a survival horror type game that's that looks like that. Maybe it has a pre-rendered background even, but it has, or even an old style like Final Fantasy 9 or something, where printed backgrounds, but we have like low poly, weird looking characters.
Yeah, I just think of the difference between like what Ashen is or Minecraft is in comparison to like literally trying to replicate those old classic games. You know, there is definitely a world for it. I mean, so many people are like old console collectors, and they still get all the old games and shit, and they have a huge connection to it. But it's not a massive market.
No, and again, I don't think this would ever replace the 8-bit style that we see currently as like the current wave of indie games looking like. I just think that like we'll probably get a couple of those at some point.
I think there's an artistic avenue for it because like with pixel art, like everyone thought, oh, it'll just always look like the 18-bit games back in the day, and then we get like Last Night and or the Last Night, and it's like a new level of pixel art that's never been done before. If that game came out back in the day, they would have thought it was made by God. Like,
it's true.
You know, like it's just stunning work, and it's a showcase of what an artist can accomplish with any technology. And you know, I'm sure that there's a means for an artist to accomplish it. But I think it's going to be far more stylized than just literally being like, look, it looks just like GoldenEye. You know, they spit grenades from their mouths when you look up. You know?
Yes.
Like,
I think there's room for it. I think we will see a couple of those, but I do not think it'll take off like a big trend or anything.
No, but I mean, the thing too is just like a lot of that stuff was built that way because of like crazy functionality. Like they were just like, we can't make this work. How to make that work? Like the spitting grenades, right?
Yeah.
Like they couldn't get a hand to throw the grenade.
Yeah, and I mean, like we have ways to do that now. I'm just saying, like this would be an homage to that day.
I guess technically there are some.
That's what it is.
Like Superhot's kind of that.
What is
Superhot?
No, it's not. No.
It's very low poly.
Sure, but it doesn't look shitty. I'm thinking like again, GoldenEye smeared face texture that looks god awful, like bad sound bites even where they're like, that's a place of steel. You're like, what the fuck did they say? You know, shit like that where you're like, oh, and it's purely like a, remember the PS1?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Like
Lara Croft and cone
titties, yeah.
Titties, or pyramid titties, really.
Yeah, they really were pyramid titties. Yeah, just shit like that where it's like a purposeful homage to like PS1 era.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would spin it with like an art side and just be like a game made with geometric shapes rather than saying it's a literal low poly 64 game. I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't sell at all, like zero.
I think there's a market for people who have nostalgia for that. And the thing is, we grew up with the systems before that. There were kids who grew up and were like only PS1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was their first system. I wonder if like
that.
I do have nostalgia for that, but yeah, I wouldn't even play a game like that. No. You know what I mean?
But the thing is I have nostalgia for like original Nintendo games, like the original Zelda and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I fucked playing that shit. No thanks.
I won't go back to original Nintendo, but I'll go back to Super Nintendo. And then I usually don't want to go back to PS1 or N64, but I go back to like the PS2 GameCube era.
Do PS2 GameCube, but I will never do PS1 stuff. But like even the Nintendo stuff. The only Nintendo thing I ever played classic was Chrono Trigger, and I still play that.
I say I'd never go back to PS1, and I fucking played Final Fantasy VII last year. Hypocrite.
You are.
What is your dream IP/developer combo?
Fuck.
I got a good answer for this one. It already happened, and it turned out shitty. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Platinum Games. That you could not get more dreamy than that for me. That would have been it, and they fucked it up, and it's bad. It's almost worse than it never coming true. It's almost worse.
Does it have to be an existing studio? So like, there's a very strong possibility of it actually happening, or can it be like a studio?
No, it doesn't have to actually happen. I mean, it has to be a studio that has existed or will exist.
Okay, has existed works for me.
I mean, you can't just be like, the director of Resident Evil and the fucking producer from Metroid or whatever.
I've got a couple of really weird ones, but just because the studios have tackled stuff. So there's an old cartoon movie that was really interesting and dark. Do you know Watership Down?
Yep.
Yeah. I want Watership Down to be done by Clover Studios.
Ooh. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Because Watership Down is really an interesting movie, and like as a kid you're horrified of it, but it's such an interesting tale, but it could totally play into a game. Like there's so many mechanics you could play around with that, and the whole tunneling and the rabbit holes and the running from the wolves and everything like that. But the best game ever made where you actually played as an animal was Okami. right? I could play as a wolf and never felt restricted, and the best way, the person I would want to give that to is Clover Studios to make Watership Down into a game. Which is really weird of a choice, but I've always kind of thought about it.
No, that is a very. I did not think you would mention Watership Down in this conversation.
Yeah, like rabbits killing rabbits and fucking ferrets and wolves. You know.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to think of something else I would love to see. Again, I would love to see a good Avatar game, and in my head, my pick would have been Platinum Games, and they fucking did it, and it turned out shitty.
I don't know if. No, I don't. I wouldn't give fucking Avatar to Platinum. I give it to another live action. Or wait, was Platinum Devil May Cry?
No, Platinum's Bayonetta.
Bayonetta. Oh, yeah, maybe. But still, no. It's hard to say. I would give it to someone else who's also really good with a really strong action and kind of combat system kind of flow. You know who would be really good with that actually is CD Projekt Red.
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
They haven't proven that they can do good combat, really.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking more
like
of the
Avatar
world
is
and
like
story and
oh, okay, yes, for world and story, yes.
Yeah.
For combat is something you'd want. You know what? Actually, Sucker Punch.
Oh,
Sucker Punch, the last second son, right?
Yeah, the Infamous.
The bitch literally is rocks.
Yeah.
She's an earthbender, right? Yeah.
And Infamous 2, there's he has ice powers, and they were so much fucking fun to use. Yeah. No,
okay, maybe Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch and Avatar. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Korra, I guess, but I would prefer The Last Airbender, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
I like Korra much more than you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Probably true.
I mean, the way you talk about that series, I think I do.
I would like to see like a campy, funny, classic horror franchise like Gremlins or Puppet Master or something like that brought into a game and play with it, but I don't know who to hand it to.
No.
That's the problem. I've always thought about like classic, goofy 90s horror movies brought to a game, which would totally work, but who would do it?
There's been like Godzilla games before, but nothing good. I wonder who could handle like giant monsters. Controllable giant monsters, though.
The guys who did not Teen Titan, Titanfall.
Oh yeah, maybe that. Maybe they could do like a giant kaiju game or something.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
They would work really well with it because they're the only ones who ever got scale of a giant robot and a human working.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, they'd be good with the Pacific Rim game.
They would be amazing with a Pacific Rim.
Oh
game.
my god.
Yeah.
Yes. Respawn Entertainment on a fucking Pacific Rim game. Yes.
That's a top.
Whew, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd hand a horror game to, though, that would do a good job and make it kind of fun. Oh, I know. Oh my god. I totally got it. Who did Psychonauts?
Oh, yeah, Double Fine.
Double Fine.
That's
doing like Gremlins or fucking Puppet Masters or...
That's a good pick. That's a good pick, man.
Yeah. Like a total cartoony game like that with this dark humor, but then mixes in with like the brand that is like Gremlins or something. That would play out really well.
Yep. Super cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good ideas in here. I didn't think
We're like an idea
I didn't think this question was going to go over this well. Before this new Dragon Ball Fighter game, I don't know who I would have given Dragon Ball to.
They picked the right guys.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Mm-hmm. Shoot them up. Shoot them down. Unlock your phone.
Shoot them up. I was thinking about heroin when you said shoot them up. Not like shoot them up.
Well, we know where your head's at. He's a heroin addict.
I wish. With the games as service model, many games receive large post-content updates and performance patches, but suffer through poor launches. Is this acceptable? How can this be improved? Well, how can this be improved? Don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
weird question, but yeah, it does seem to be a regular phenomena that happens. Game launches, shitty servers, not enough content. Destiny is an example of this, right? And then slowly throughout a year, it starts becoming better. Or Andromeda is even a good one where like performance patches were patched in pretty soon afterwards, but you missed out on a lot of them. And it sucks because you were an early adopter, you got the game day one, and you get fucked for being like a fan. Yeah. And now me, who was a traitor and didn't play it right away, I'm gonna go and probably have a better experience than you because you didn't get all this other shit that they fixed. They should never ship the game like that.
Well, I got to replay it now, so I'm actually waiting for a couple more patches to run through for the last of it that they're talking about, and then I'm actually going to replay it. But I mean, the differences were huge for that for Andromeda. The patches made such a huge difference for that game. You know, but I felt like that's a different story because those patches were coming in quick response to you have made a horrible piece of shit.
It's also not in the vein of the question though, because it's they said games as service, which is something like Destiny or The Division or For Honor or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's something to having expansions or content that goes beyond.
Something to look forward to, right?
Yeah. Because, like, I'm game for Destiny having expansions and giving us all sorts of new raids.
It sucks when you think, though, that, like, there's not a lot to do here in the first place, and, like, I know you're working on something right now, like, you should have waited, or, like, you know.
But the content should last. So the only developer I know who made a good MMO or online multiplayer / online content game of some kind that maintained its content providing enough over a period to actually, like, support the game. What I mean is, like, they made the next expansion large enough that it would take you almost as long to finish it as it would until the next one came out, is World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Because, like, every expansion, a lot of people beat all the content pretty early on, but those are, like, scary people. But, like, me and my guild, we were a raiding guild, and we ran almost everything by the end of the expansion came, next expansion came, but, you know, it took us over a year until the next expansion would come, and it would take us that long to get through it, and usually it would be like, all right, 3-4 months until the end of until the next expansion came and we've done everything. All right, fine, whatever, move on. But like with the problem with these that becomes as a problem with Destiny, where you could beat all of the Destiny content in less than a month, and it was 6 months until the expansion came.
Yep, and then it was just like a new thing you added to your rotation, and you're like, okay.
I'll give it to the communities for Destiny, where they came up with shit to do in the games for, like...
Spyro racing before it was actually, like, a thing.
Yeah, or, like, running the raid with only punching, you know? Like, and people are pulling the stuff off, which is fun, but... It shows how bored your player base is if they're literally just making up the game
They're
for
making
you.
harder challenges for themselves.
Yeah.
Putting arbitrary, like, limits.
Limits that you never created. And they will receive no award for, right?
Yeah.
So that's the negative side of it. And that's also the Division's problem. And fucking you go through a list of other games. And that's more common. And I think that's why we just went, no, like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Because the solution is don't release your game until you have enough content to fill up to when you plan to release an expansion. And if you don't think you can release that expansion, don't release the content.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder if even it would psychologically trick people if, like, they released the game and there was, like, a moderate amount of content where people were like, oh, really? I really want more. And after the first month, they already planned on doing this years ago, like, sneak fucks. But they're like, we noticed everyone was, like, you know, you guys are all completing the stuff faster than we thought. We're giving out the first expansion for free, and, like, they always planned to do it. It was in the budget to do it. It was actually planned for the game, but, like, it's a scummy move, but, like, you know, we wouldn't know any better, so we'd be like, oh, we're good guys, and they released this huge expansion for us, like, just a month later, you know?
Yeah, but then eventually when they do have to charge for the next one, they're going to be like, but you gave us the last one for free.
I think that's expected.
No.
Yeah.
It's gamers.
I mean, okay, this is a little different, but CD Projekt Red, they released a bunch of free DLC, and then they finally charged for one. But it was also, like, an entire new game's worth of content. It wasn't just an expansion.
Yeah, it's
They're
true.
like, here's Witcher 4 by accident, sorry. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, it's hard to control downloadable content and find out what works. But the thing is, that we have examples of what does work, like CD Projekt Red, or a lot of other games that have done it, even World of Warcraft to others. And, like, just do what they did again. Don't do the other thing. Like, how is that not the decision? Like, did they make more money on the crappy version?
I'm always surprised that servers, like, with almost every game you always hear about, like, oh, first night Destiny launched, like, servers are down, and they're down for, like, the next week, they're barely up, like, all this shit, and you're just like, how hasn't anyone nailed this yet?
Yeah.
Fighting games have the same thing, like, and I always wonder if it's like, do they purposely undersell themselves or something, like, where they're like, oh, we might only sell 25,000 copies or something, and, like, I don't know.
Well, it's really complicated, and I won't get into it.
They're testing server loads and stuff.
They are, but there's a business side to it and a technical side to it. And the business side is also, like, how much do we need to invest into units sold, and you have to set out an expectation of what it might be. And sometimes you can't even expect. Destiny didn't know it was going to sell that well, right? So on the business side, they're like, all right, we're going to set servers up.
They were hyping it out to be a AAA game that they were going to play for, that people were going to play for, quote, 10 years.
Yes.
I feel like they should have had some server capacity.
Yeah.
If people are going to, they expect this game to be a 10-year-long thing, like.
But on the technical side, that's also a problem that comes back when probably was more of a case for Destiny is you can't test your games for full server load properly. Like, you can test for full server load and make sure it works, but to know like how much handling what you've set up, like code wise and dev wise, and also the servers themselves of understanding what like how much load that one needs. Like, you can't guess how much information is coming in and out at one time, what's going to be peak hours, you know, et cetera, et cetera. It requires so much foresight that it will always crash. Always crash. How long it's down is an example of whether or not the studio prepped for it properly. And Destiny wasn't down for that long compared to most.
It was pretty shitty for the first little while. I just remember it being very, very hit and miss. Like, I'd get on, my roommate wouldn't get on, and I'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Well, what I didn't like about that was they actually had bugs in the server code. So, like, you kept getting, you know, error B, error bug,
right,
error hornet, and you're like, what the fuck are all these? And it was just like, there's like a server error, and it's built into the game, and you're like, okay, that's dumb.
It is. Ready for the next question?
Ready for the next question.
This one's real simple. Hey, any book recommendations?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, Ready Player One.
Want to give us any... Just a little summary?
No, that's the end of the whole question. You don't even have an answer. It's just everyone should go read Ready Player One. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm planning on reading this one as well.
So, Ready Player One, I can't remember the name of the author's name off the top of my head right now. It's actually being turned into a movie by... Is it Spielberg who's doing it? Spielberg, I think.
I think it is. He's involved.
Yeah,
he's either producing or directing.
Yeah. But Ready Player One is probably the best book I've read in the last decade, personally, because it just connects so home. And it connects to you, our audience, since you're just like us. It literally is just reading one of your greatest fantasies come to life. I was swept away. Like, my partner Jed really liked it a lot, but he's not even like a fraction as nerdy as we are, and he still got a kick out of a lot of it. But it's every single ounce of pop culture from the day pop culture started being a thing with games and Dungeons and Dragons and movies and you name it, wrapped up into a virtual world. The story revolves around a kid in a just kind of a dystopian future where everyone keeps wearing like VR goggles and VR suits and shit to log into this world, which I'm also forgetting the name of. And in that world, like, there are 1,000 or tens of thousands of different worlds in this giant galaxy of virtual worlds. And each world can be anything you want. So some worlds are like the Tron world, some are the D&D world, some are the Harry Potter world, some are the Star Wars world, you know. Some of them are just, like, worlds made up, right? And you have an avatar, and you go in and you level up your avatar and try and gain items and stuff from that. It turns out the creator of the game... decided to make this big corporation. The big corporation basically took over and wants to use the whole system to basically like run it like a business and make people pay for it because the designer made it for free. And they want to take it and start charging for it, which would ruin the economy and ruin the world, etc. And the world's going to die. So he locks into the code a special key that will give whoever finds it control over the whole thing. They are now master controller for the whole entire game. And of course, the company wants this, but then the main character finds a clue. The first person to find the clue solves the first riddle, and it's all about rushing at the end of this riddle to go find this end of the key. And he does. He goes through everything. He goes through, like, Indiana Jones worlds, and he actually even gets the ship from Firefly, and, like, you know, you name it. Like,
Jesus.
It's the best. It is... You're going to bed, geek wet dream, and you wake up and you're like, my brain is awesome. Someone wrote it down. Like, it's amazing. Favorite book.
Interesting. How long do I have?
You have 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
God damn, you took a lot of time.
Yeah.
One book. I'm going to go through 4 in the same amount of time.
Well,
okay.
That's the only book I care about.
Last 4 books I read. I'm on a site called Goodreads where I just like write down, I just like enter the books I read. Keep a little like tab of them.
I think we all know what Goodreads is.
I don't know. I only found it like a year ago. I didn't know it was even existing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I just put in a bunch of shit. I'm sure I'm missing stuff in there. But last 4 things I read: The Boy Who Drew Monsters by Keith Donahue. This is about a child who draws monsters. And he's very obsessed with it. And he's a very creepy little child. And his dad wants to be proud of him, but he's like a fucking weird kid. And the dad's like, I don't know if I want to spend time with him, or the mom for that matter. They both think he's a little off. They try to encourage his drawing, and he has a friend come sleep over, and like shit starts happening where like you hear like on the outside of the house, and the dad's like, "What the fuck is that?" And then goes out and doesn't see anything, and you hear and there's like a rumble, and then like the kid runs out screaming, and the other little boy is just like, "We were just drawing," and shit like that. So it's really like unsettling, creepy. A lot of cool imagery in that book that's being described. I really enjoy that one a lot. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't go too much farther. Second one, Scarlet Gospels by Clive Barker. This is the last part of the saga of the Hellbound Heart, which is the series where Pinhead comes from. Scarlet Gospels, Pinhead, if you want to know what happens to him, go read that.
Huh.
Easy Street the Hard Way.
What?
Ron Perlman. This is his
Dude,
autobiography.
Dude.
Great book. You want to know more about Ron Perlman? This is the thing to read. He's a good guy. I like him a lot.
Guy.
And the last one is the one I most recently read, was Disappearance at Devil's Rock. This one, actually kind of Stranger Things vibe when I think about it a little bit. Kid goes missing, and a bunch of creepy stuff starts happening around his disappearance, and the two friends who were with him are being interrogated by police trying to find out what happened.
Okay.
And there are increasingly, and the mother is also involved trying to figure out why things are happening in her house. And, you know, that's actually that almost sounds like Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that was so close when I was...
No, but that's a good... I actually do have 2 other book recommendations, though, since we still have a minute left. I have Dust. It's a 3-part book tale. Story, series, whatever. It's Dust, Wool, and something else, I forget. Very good series, just basically based on this dystopian future where you're like in these silos underneath like the desert world that's been left, and it's jobs of certain people to come outside and wear a suit and try and clean it off, and they give it to prisoners to go do, and like the cleaning will probably kill you. Anyways, it's a story revolving around that and finding out what the whole story is about these pods you're living in, basically. Another good one I really liked is Girl with All the Gifts. I actually disliked it way more than I thought I was going to, but it is still a very good book. Everything else about the zombie side of everything in it, and even the kids and the zombies and the stupid like trying to save the world part, was so hackneyed I kind of grew to dislike the book. However, it is meticulously written and wonderfully written for the relationship between the main character, young zombie girl, and the Mrs. I forget her name. And the teacher and the mother-daughter relationship they form. It's beautifully written, and that relationship is really cool and really fun. And it's probably 50% of the book for that build-up. So just for that component and like them surviving as like this like mother-daughter unit in the zombie world, definitely a big enjoyment.
I wish I read more. I wish I had the chance to read more. I always feel like it's like on the hierarchy of entertainment, it's the thing I put lowest a lot of times.
Yeah.
Even though I read a lot as a kid. Even as a teenager, I read a lot, and as I got older, I started reading less. And not due to like, I want to draw more, or I want to play video games in my spare time, or whatever it is, or I want to watch a TV show with my girlfriend.
I've lost reading to drawing, but I've never lost reading to gaming. Like, I always have a chance to sit and read at some point, which I'm always like, because I spend so much time traveling around and shit. Like, I'm going like, meeting is something, and then I wait for 20 minutes while someone's late. Like, I have an opportunity to do it. And that's my best time, because like I'm not a public artist in any fashion, sitting in a coffee shop and people walking by going, "Did you draw that?" I'm like, "Fuck you," and leave. So I read. So I find more time for it in those components. But you know, you're a home office guy, so
yeah, I don't get to read in my breaks. I mean, I could probably sit here and read, but
are you going to?
Then I fall behind at work, and then I get fired.
Next up, answer me. Ask me.
What video game character do you most want to chill with?
Oh. Like, hang out with.
I know who I want to hang out with.
Dante?
Yes, also that.
Oh.
Also Dante. My first pick was, though? Mass Effect character. Not who you think.
Oh.
Morden.
Yeah!
Morden!
That'd be awesome fun.
He fucking sings to you and shit.
Yeah. This is just hangout friend, like no...
Yeah, this isn't Netflix and chill. This isn't like, who do you want to fuck?
Yeah. No, that's better, because like it's like, who do you ship yourself with? I'm like, I don't want to do that.
No, this is who do you want to hang out with? Who would you like to have a drink with? Who would you like to,
Yeah, there's a ton of Mass Effect characters. I want to hang out with the Drell, Green, Sutton, Mass Effect 2.
Thane.
Definitely want to hang out with Thane. He seems like so soft and so sweet, but so philosophical, and I love people like that, and I love having philosophical discussions. I think his whole thing would just be really fun. Morden is an amazing choice.
Yeah, Morden would be my boy.
Yeah.
He was my boy in that game.
Yeah. And asking or hanging out with Garrus would be great.
Yeah, Garrus would be great too.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just going down Mass Effect characters
No,
in your head.
I'm wiping out all the others, and then like the last one I would want to try and hang out with from the new game would be
Joel.
Jaal, Jaal.
Oh, from the new Mass Effect.
Yeah,
I see.
the new,
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying
Andromeda.
Joel from Last of Us, but really weirdly, you're like Jaal. I was like,
I
don't think that's how they.
I don't really think. Would you want to hang out with Joel? Really? Like
No.
that would be like a worst day out ever.
Well, we're assuming I think we're assuming we're in our world, right?
Yeah.
I think. Like
No. We're going to their world. Fuck that.
Oh, we're in their world?
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't even pick Joel then, because he'd be like, "You want to have a drink?" He'd be like, we're dying! I can't sit down and have a whiskey
so
with
if
you.
we're only going to the Mass Effect world, we'll bring them here. We could go to whoever's place we want. We're friends.
I think this is
place.
in a theoretical, neutral place,
Yeah.
like a bar. We're not in their world. They're their character, but they're like, we're hanging out in a random bar.
Okay.
We're not in the Last of Us world. Otherwise, you could never hang out with anyone from there.
No.
Although they're still not my pick.
God, who else would I want to hang out with? That's like a super awesome person. Ooh, Aloy. Or no, not Aloy. Actually, it'd be her original self, the doctor or whatever.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Dr. Elizabeth Sobek.
Sobek, because like Sobek was like the coolest woman I ever heard about in my life. I would love to sit and talk like science and philosophy with her.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like to hang out with Dante and talk about partying and stabbing demons. So what do you do in your spare time?
I wonder if there's anyone like less serious though. Like I mean, like when it comes down to developed characters, I want to think about a developed character. But like, would you want to hang out with Mario? Like, no.
Oh no, there's no. He wouldn't. Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's me. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's you. Get out.
Racial stereotype. And then like that's and you're like, dude, you don't have to eat spaghetti all the time. Like, stop it. I don't know. God, it's just games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only games can. No. Yeah. It's too easy. Otherwise.
Too easy outside of that. It's way too easy.
I hang off Rayman and just like put my hand in between his body and arm and be like, what is this?
How does this function? Can I take this off?
Yeah, how does far can this go? Just steal his hand.
Yeah. I can't even really think about the characters I really like empathize with that I really want to hang out with in that context.
I want to hang out with Ryu from Street Fighter and punch some waterfalls.
That's actually a good point. Like, who could you hang out with that could like suddenly train you to become, whatever?
Street Fighter characters all fucked. It would have to be Ryu. Ryu or Ken are the one you want to hang out
Yeah,
with.
no, all the other. Well, maybe Chun-Li.
Oh yeah, Chun-Li's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Although she's like a Chinese cop, I don't know. She's probably doing her job a lot. I don't know
Yeah.
if I can hang out with a cop like that.
He'd be like sitting at the bar and be like, "So what's going?" And you're like, "Why are you kicking? Stop
Spin
it!"
top kick. Yeah. Keep cooking.
Yeah. You go outside and you're like, "Why are you damaging my car? Stop it!"
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want to hang out with Blanca, the electric green werewolf. Like,
No.
fuck him. Sagat, dude, probably, like, no.
No.
Can't hang out with him. M. Bison, no.
No.
Vega, no. He's a claw man. I don't want to hang out with him.
Serial killer.
Balrog is just a boxer. I mean, he might be okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just only talk about boxing the whole time.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a
He'd be like, "So today I was drawn," and he's like, "And then yesterday I used the elbow to kill the man." You're like, what? Just one drink.
Oh, you know what? Hakan from Street Fighter is good. He's a Turkish oil wrestler.
That's good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I'd hang out with Hakan, definitely.
Maybe actually even Cole from Infamous, because I always liked the character. He seemed like something kind of like a cool dude who had a lot of stories.
Isn't he kind of a dickhead?
Yeah, but I mean, you are, and I hang out with you.
Valid. Next up, I feel like this one might be a short conversation.
Mm.
Is it too early to determine your game of the year?
No, it's easy. Cal, what's your game of the year? My game of the year is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Look, it's probably Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
But Wolfenstein and Evil Within and Super Mario Odyssey are all coming out this year.
They won't take Horizon's throne for me.
I could see one of them doing it.
For me, it won't take it away. For the competition at the Game of the Year awards, maybe. I'm sure there's competition in that context.
I'm talking about me personally as well. I think one of those games might be able to. But honestly, even if Mario is like, I have the most fun with it,
Yeah.
it's still not the experience you have with Horizon Zero
That's
Dawn
the thing.
story-wise.
I don't think Mario could do it for you because there's not that impact where at the end you're like containing your tears and contemplating humanity and worshipping an amazing character. And
I wasn't doing any of the things either.
You admitted to all of it. And then like all that little
Fuck, no, I didn't.
like all that little intrinsic, wonderful little tied in together moments of the story and the world and the visuals. Like there's just too much inside that for Mario to take away.
Well, I just don't think even if Mario is like on a minute-by-minute, like, more fun than Horizon was, yeah, it still just doesn't have the story that I'm invested in, you know?
So
the bridal shower of those fucking rabbits trying to get Peach and Bowser married isn't going to move me in any way.
No. But Evil Within... I mean, it depends on the gameplay for Evil Within.
Yeah, if it controls like the last one, definitely not.
No. So, like, I mean, the story could take you away, but then the gameplay and the game itself might not be all that thrilling. Wolfenstein is a contender that could probably do it for you. It wouldn't do it for me, but it probably could for you.
Yeah, I could see anyone... No, you know what, I can't see Mario anymore. But I could see maybe Evil Within or Wolfenstein doing it. Probably not, like I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But they are the only other two contenders. Or there at least is a contender now in my mind. You know?
I mean, it wouldn't do it for me in either context. They're just not the games that would take me
What
away.
else is coming out for you that you might think that...
Nothing, not this year.
No.
No, even everything from E3, like, I mean, Ni no Kuni won't do it. I mean, it's going to be a great game, but it's not going to take Game of the Year for me away from Horizon Zero Dawn, like, not a chance. I'm very excited for Wolfenstein, but it's not, like, Fallout was always an interesting game to me, and in comparison with the same kind of, like, tone, and Wolfenstein, I'm, like, again, I'm really interested in it. I'm going to have a lot of fun, but it's not going to be that thing that's going to take out any special place for me. The Evil Within could, just because it looks like it's going to be really cool.
A lot of cool psychological horror.
But again, I don't think there's any mechanics in it that's going to blow me away in the way that like Horizon Zero Dawn did, where I'm like shooting ice arrows in this little thing and dodging underneath it while I like trap down a fucking giant saber-toothed robot.
It's very
tiger.
unlikely, and it's also very unlikely that Evil Within 2's story is any good, honestly. Even if they're trying to do a more personal one, I just can't imagine it.
Well, that's the thing, because I remember the last story, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, hey, this looks great, but then I'm like, isn't this, why monsters from just people dreams?
The only way it could take it away from me if I'm like, I'm so into the imagery of Evil Within 2, like, even then, that wouldn't be enough. No. Horizon's the whole package, that's the thing.
Like, I have a hard time believing that that is the best.
It would have to do something like those games would do something so special.
Yeah.
To dethrone Horizon at this point.
Horizon is the best gaming experience I've had since like
in the last 5 years, probably.
Oh, even more. I don't even remember the last time.
Last of Us came out in the last 5 years, so that's why I'm counting.
Oh, is Last of Us in the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so since The Last of Us, which is 5 years ago.
It was 2013, I think.
Okay.
So yeah.
So yeah, it's been about 5 years, and that was the last game that had that kind of impact on me. So there's no chance in hell that I can't see it.
Imagine Days Gone had a Last of Us worthy story, but it had in a world that's like Horizon, where it's a big sandbox or something. It's not going to be that clearly, but imagine.
Crazy.
It would be good, but yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
All right. Bring us up to how many more we got left?
Last one.
Then
we got a bonus round.
Oh yeah, then we got the rapid fire round.
We have a Zelda, a Splatoon, and soon to be Mario. How does Nintendo keep up momentum between the next iterations of these franchises?
We're all worried about it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. The Switch is coming out. It's very popular. It's the best-selling Nintendo console ever at this pace right now. I don't know if it's looking to outsell a Wii yet, but that would be very impressive if it did, because the Wii sold a fuck ton. And you know, they launched with a fucking Zelda game that everybody loves. Everybody fucking loves Breath of the Wild. Mike and me excluded right now, apparently. And you know, they're giving us I said Mike and me excluded.
I was like, don't just put me on that pedestal.
I love Zelda. Mike is the monster.
We're up here on the top of this thing while the Horde comes after us together.
They're launching ARMS, which is a new IP, which looks interesting. Doesn't look like Game of the Year material or anything, but looks fun. Splatoon 2 is coming out, which already has a huge fan base this year as well. And then we got Mario coming in October, and that's two of their new franchises, two of their old classic, and their biggest. Mario and Zelda are the ones, right? They're the ones that are the money makers.
Of the list, yeah.
And then after that, we know Metroid Prime 4 is coming eventually. I honestly assume that's 2 years away.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And a core Pokemon Switch game, which again, they had nothing to show at all. Yeah. It's right now probably just doodles on a napkin. And that's probably at least 2 years away.
Yeah.
I'm worried about 2018 for them.
I'm worried about 2018 for Nintendo as well, big time.
Because we're even get the. I'm pretty sure the 2D Metroid on 3DS is coming out this year.
It is,
and that's not even on Switch, but like that's also this year.
Yeah, I mean for Nintendo releases, the big one was Mario Kart that was supposed to fill the gap in between. That's done, and then now we're coming up to Mario Odyssey, which is the next thing, which is still a huge amount of time in between major releases. And then after that,
I think there's enough padding in there though. They launch with Zelda, you get ARMS, you get Splatoon. And you get like that Rabbids Mario game and stuff. Like there's enough releases.
Yeah, it's still it's less than most others, but I mean that's Nintendo. But like after that,
all they have in my mind to release is ports again. Mm-hmm. They could release the fucking Star Fox Wii U game, which sucked, but like they could do it. They could release Bayonetta 2, which was Wii U exclusive for some reason, and then put on the Switch, and I would actually play it. And they could do a Smash Brothers port.
Yeah.
And that could be like the big thing next year.
But that seems like that's all they're going to do.
They add a new character.
And they're going to add some little fluff to it, which could severely damage the system and Nintendo in itself as well, because you can't spend a year with just ports. Now, they could come out and surprise us and either pump up the release dates for either of the games they've announced recently, which I don't think is going to happen, or they could come out with spontaneous surprise releases for a new Smash Brothers.
Animal Crossing?
But they talked about Animal Crossing expansion shit in this one, didn't they?
No.
No?
No. They're coming out with an Animal Crossing mobile game, though, which I think works better.
Yeah.
I think Animal Crossing on your phone, just carrying your phone around every day and visiting other people's towns or whatever, how the fuck it works, I think that's a better option than a Switch game.
But
Pikmin, don't care. Like, I don't think that's...
That's not going to save them with
No.
releases, no. Yeah, like, I mean,
unless
they release a new Mario Kart and a new Super Smash Bros. On surprise next year, like, I don't know. I don't think they have the good pacing for it.
Do they have a Donkey Kong game in the works or something? Like
Like, what have they not told us that's going to save their 2018? Because if they go a whole year without any major sales purchases that make millions of dollars, they're, like, fucked.
Donkey Kong, maybe. Maybe that's what Retro's working on. Because they were working on two Donkey Kong games before this.
But if it's supposed to come out next year, they would have talked about it at E3.
No, because remember, they contradicted themselves in their own statement, but they said, we're only talking about 2017 releases in this. And Nintendo has directs every, 3 months. Okay. They do, the direct thing where they're like, hey, we're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Here's another bad decision by us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Donkey Kong...
That's it.
What are the other big franchises? Metroid, we know it's coming, but just not for a long time. Yeah, I don't know. F-Zero. That's a racing game. That's not going to satisfy too many people.
That's what I mean. So after those ones, it's just...
I think you're going to have to lean on third-party support next year, I feel like the Switch is selling well enough that maybe people are going to start giving it a look and being like, maybe we should get over there.
Well, they were talking about doing a lot of third-party support, and they are getting a couple of little people coming in there and doing that. Like
Octopath Traveler, right?
Octopath Traveler, which people are actually quite excited about. But that's their only source. And is that source enough? Time will only tell.
Yeah,
really
interesting to see where they're going to go,
mm-hmm.
or maybe with the start of this Ubisoft Rabbids Mario thing, maybe they start actually just giving their IPs out to other people a little more, just to be like, hey, it'll look like we did something because it's a Nintendo, it's a mainline Nintendo thing, but you do it, just more shit like that where it's a little bit of spin-off or something. I don't know.
It's an interesting future.
Yeah, for sure. And now it's time for the bonus round! I call this bonus round Keep or Kill. Okay. Much like the question that you provided for this week about killing off franchises, I'm just going to name 2 names, and you say keep or no, you gotta tell me who you're going to kill, because you're obviously keeping the other one.
Okay.
I
can say animals, but yeah.
Yeah, just say kill at X or whatever. Okay. Spyro or Crash?
Kill Crash, because dumb.
No, don't explain it. Just keep going.
No.
You explain it after. Lara Croft or Nathan Drake?
Kill Drake.
Mario or Cloud?
Cloud's Strife?
Yeah.
Okay. Kill Mario.
Solid Snake or Dante?
Kill Dante.
Pyramid Head.
Sorry, who was the other one?
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake, yes, I'll kill Dante.
Pyramid Head or Nemesis?
Nemesis, to die.
Gon from Hunter or Deku from Hero?
Ooh. If I kill him, does that end the series?
It just no. It's just kill him off.
Because we're going to be a continuing thing where I take the winners from this one and then bring them on to the next bracket.
Oh. Fuck.
I know.
Kill Gon, because he's actually more annoying.
Harsh. Naruto or Bleach? I forget the Bleach man's name. Ichigo.
Can I kill them both?
No.
Oh. Kill Bleach.
Deal. And that's it for Keep or Kill. Let's go back over those answers one more time. Spyro or Crash? You killed Crash, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit why you killed Crash.
Killed Crash because Crash was never as much of an enjoyable character design, and he never said anything or did anything. He was just a fucking bandicoot that put on a Booga Booga mask. Like, what was that supposed to be? At least Spyro was a magical dragon trying to save a kingdom.
Lara Croft or Nathan Drake? You killed Nathan Drake?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Lara wins.
Lara Croft is a better character as of the new games, especially now. And I've always enjoyed a powerful female character in video games in the first place. Plus, I've enjoyed her designs more. Nathan Drake is just a stupid, like, I'm so charming and I'm a boy, and I survived because I know how to jump. But you haven't trained. Why are you able to do anything? Because I'm Nathan Drake. Well, I don't fucking care. At least she's got the money to pay for the gear. You know, like.
Sure. Mario or Cloud? You killed Mario.
I killed Mario because Final Fantasy VII. Just simple enough. Like, I could never just finish anything out from Final Fantasy VII. It always must survive.
Solid Snake or Dante? You killed Dante. Why'd you keep Snake?
Because I don't have a connection to Dante. I mean, Dante's cool, but I've never really played any Metal or Devil May Cry games. And the only thing I really know about his character is that he's a badass that likes to stab shit. And, you know, at least Snake has a story that I know.
Sure. Pyramid Head or Nemesis? Who'd you kill?
I killed Nemesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nemesis was dumb. Pyramid Head is iconic. And Pyramid Head comes from a deep thought of, like, psychology. I would go
as far to say that they're both iconic, but...
Yeah. No, but, like, Pyramid Head comes from a deep, like, psychological analysis and building up to one of the greatest games ever made. And Nemesis comes from an excellent, excellent game. But at the end of the day, he's always going to turn into a pile of goo.
Stars. Yeah. Gon from Hunter or Deku from Hero? You killed Gon.
Only because Gon pisses me the fuck off in the series so many times. I'm just going to keep punching it. But you're Gon. You need to, like, actually save the day and not lose your arm and cause everyone pain and strife. But I am determined. Like, everyone else is, like, crying and sad, and you're so determined to punch something better that you're willing to, like, risk everyone's life because you're a selfish prick. Yeah, fuck you, Gon. You die. Deku is at least a nice guy, and he's adorable. Naruto
or Bleach? You killed Naruto. No, sorry, you killed Bleach.
Yeah. Because Bleach is a dumb series, at least Naruto ended well.
You've been strangely blunt about all these. I like it.
Yeah.
Just for quick reference, Spyro or Crash? I'd kill Crash.
Yeah.
Lara Croft or Nathan Drake? I'd kill Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Mario or Cloud? That's a tough one. I'd kill Cloud.
Oh.
Solid Snake or Dante? Let's kill Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Pyramid Head or Nemesis? Nemesis dies.
Yeah.
Gon from Hunter or Deku from Hero? I would kill...
I know, it's so hard.
Deku, because Hunter hits home hard for me.
Yeah.
And Naruto or Bleach? I would kill Naruto.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I've never watched
Oh.
Naruto, really.
No? Okay.
Here and there I've caught stuff, but I don't have any connection to it.
Even character design-wise.
I like some of the stuff. I don't... This thing, I just don't know. I know there's a giant fox in Naruto, and I know there's a giant frog I like. Bleach, there's some cool shit.
Well, they all wear black outfits. I'm just like, alright, that's original.
Yeah.
Like, they just literally skipped design and were like, alright, we've got 13 captains of this whole thing, and we all wear the same outfit. Like,
you're not wrong, they
do.
do.
Like, give them a good quick polish. They have different hairstyles.
I like that guy from Bleach, the...
Kenpachi?
Kenpachi, yeah. I like Kenpachi a lot.
He was the only good character that was well designed.
He's dope. Actually hated his hair at first. His fucking spike shit.
I hated them trying to make us fit, like, the original description of why his hair was like that, and he had bells on the end of it, was that, like, the bells would jingle when something was coming at him in that direction. I'm like, how does that even work?
Yeah, that was really dumb.
And later they're just like,
we don't know why it was there. We thought it was cool in the moment. And that's it for 5-Minute Warning. Hope you enjoyed. I'm at the CalG on Twitter. Mike is at Mike Kent Draws. And Pens and Pixels is across all social medias. Pick your poison.
Yep, so make sure to give us a like, share, and subscribe on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Those are the major content providers that we use to provide you the podcast. So be sure to get on there and give us a like, share, and subscribe so that we know what you guys like, hence the giving it a like. Or you can check out our videos on YouTube. We actually do have some content up there other than just the podcast itself. Also, be sure to give us a rating on iTunes or leave us a comment because we'd love to hear from you guys. Leave us a comment on all of those things again and let us know what you think. Give us a question, whatever you like.
I really would have preferred if they did a Spyro remaster than Crash.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, way more.
What do you think? When will I ever get that if this stupid Crash thing sells well enough?
Who knows what comes back after that.
Yeah. Spyro's better.